Hidden within the carved stone walls of medieval Indian temples lies a cosmic conspiracy that would revolutionize our understanding of ancient astronomy. The Hoysala Empire's master architects weren't just building places of worship, they were encoding the secrets of the universe itself into every pillar, every sculpture, every geometric pattern. For over 8 centuries, these stone libraries have guarded their celestial knowledge, waiting for modern minds to crack their astronomical code. In the lush highlands of Karnataka, between the 11th and 13th centuries, an empire rose that would forever change the landscape of Indian architecture. The Hoysalas, originally hill chieftains who served the mighty Chalukyas, had grown powerful enough to carve out their own kingdom. But their true legacy wouldn't be written in conquest or gold. It would be chiseled into soapstone, one intricate carving at a time. The Hoysala architectural revolution began under King Vishnuvardhana in the early 12th century. Unlike the massive towering temples of other dynasties, Hoysala temples were intimate masterpieces, star-shaped structures that seemed to pulse with mathematical precision. The soft chloritic schist stone, locally known as soapstone, allowed their craftsmen to achieve levels of detail that bordered on the impossible. Every surface became a canvas for stories, but these weren't just mythological tales, they were sophisticated astronomical textbooks written in stone. The most stunning example stands at Belur, the Chennak Temple, completed in 1117 CE. At first glance, it appears to be a typical Hindu temple dedicated to Lord Vishnu. But look closer, and the building reveals its hidden nature. The temple's star-shaped plan isn't merely aesthetic. It's a precise geometric representation of stellar configurations. The number of points on the star, the angles between them, even the ratio of the inner sanctum to the outer walls, all correspond to specific astronomical calculations. The temple's pillars tell an even more remarkable story. Each of the 64 pillars is unique, carved with intricate figures that dance and twist in seemingly endless variety. But hidden within this apparent chaos is a sophisticated calendar system. The positioning of certain sculptures corresponds to the movement of celestial bodies throughout the year. The famous bracket figures, those sensuous maidens that seem to defy gravity as they lean from the pillars, aren't just decorative. Their poses and positions mark specific stellar alignments, creating a 3-dimensional star chart that ancient astronomers could read like a book. At Halebidu, the Hoysaleswara Temple pushes this astronomical encoding even further. Built in the 1120s, this twin temple complex is essentially a massive stone computer, calculating the movements of planets with startling accuracy. The temple's walls are covered with over 240 sculptural panels, each one precisely positioned to correspond with specific dates and celestial events. The famous depictions of Ravana lifting Mount Kailash aren't just mythological scenes, they're sophisticated representations of gravitational forces and planetary mechanics. But perhaps the most ingenious aspect of Hoysala astronomical architecture lies in their use of light and shadow. The temples were designed so that sunlight would illuminate specific sculptures at precise times of the year, creating a living calendar that marked solstices, equinoxes, and other significant astronomical events. During the winter solstice, for example, the first rays of dawn would strike a particular carving of Surya, the sun god, while leaving other sections in shadow. This wasn't coincidence, it was careful calculation. The Hoysala architects had developed a sophisticated understanding of the precession of equinoxes, the slow wobble of Earth's axis that causes the position of stars to shift over centuries. They encoded this knowledge into their temple designs, creating structures that would remain astronomically accurate for thousands of years. The famous wheel carvings found on many Hoysala temples aren't just decorative elements. They're precise sundials and astronomical calculators, capable of determining time, season, and stellar position with remarkable accuracy. The mathematical sophistication hidden in these temples is staggering. The Hoysala architects had mastered complex geometric principles that wouldn't be formally described in European mathematics for centuries. They understood the relationship between the golden ratio and natural forms, incorporating these proportions into their temple designs to create structures that felt harmonious and alive. But why hide this knowledge in stone? The answer lies in the turbulent political landscape of medieval India. The Hoysala Empire existed during a period of constant warfare and political upheaval. Traditional centers of learning, universities and libraries, were vulnerable to destruction by invading armies. By encoding astronomical knowledge into temple architecture, the Hoysala scholars created indestructible repositories of scientific wisdom. Even if the empire fell, even if the scholars were scattered, the knowledge would survive in stone. This strategy proved remarkably prescient. When the Delhi Sultanate's forces swept through South India in the early 14th century, they destroyed many traditional centers of learning. But the temples, protected by their religious significance, survived. The astronomical knowledge hidden in their walls remained intact, waiting for future generations to rediscover. Today, as we stand before these magnificent structures, we're not just admiring ancient art. We're reading the scientific journals of medieval Indian astronomers, encoded in stone and waiting patiently for us to understand their cosmic secrets. The Hoysala Empire may have fallen 7 centuries ago, but their greatest achievement continues to teach us about the movements of the stars, proving that sometimes the most profound truths are hidden in the most beautiful lies. If you enjoyed this story, please hit the like button and subscribe for more untold history every single day. See you in the next one.